Hi, and welcome to the first lecture for Health Studies of Dangerous Drugs. We're not going to be covering any content today. We're just going to be going over some basics for the class because we do hit the ground running and I want to make sure you know how to succeed. I am Sheila Clark. I'm the instructor for the class. Over the summer, the best ways to reach me are definitely going to be by email, sheila.clark@unlv.edu. You can also use my Google Voice number, which is 702-518-2854. You can either call and leave a voicemail or text to that number. Either way, I should be able to get back to you shortly. I'm not on campus a lot over the summer. My office is BHS 354, so if you're here during the course of the regular school year, please feel free to stop by. In terms of office hours for summer class, I don't really set any structured hours, but I am available for any kinds of questions you might have, either through Google Meet, the video chat function through the Google Suite, or by phone call, or you can make an appointment and we can either chat but through any of those tools. Typically, in terms of what you can expect from me for response times, I'll return whatever your question may be, a call or an email, within 24 hours, although typically not on weekends. If you haven't heard from me by then, please feel free to reach out again. There's a chance that your message may have not made it to my attention. I like to get started by telling you a little bit about who I am. I know that we spend a lot of time in online classes without ever getting face-to-face, and I do think it's important to have just a little context, and I'll be asking you to introduce yourselves in this first day or so of class as well. But for me, defining who I am, really hard to start talking about that at all without talking about family. This is a picture of me with some of my extended family from last summer. Had a little bit of a family reunion in upstate New York where my husband grew up. He is in the back of that picture. We've been married for 24 years this summer, and our two teenagers are part of the group photo there. So family is where it all starts for me. And then my dogs. As I mentioned, I do have two teenagers in that previous photo. Sometimes these guys are my favorite members of my family. That's Sniff on the right, Boogie on the left. They like it when I teach online over the summer because that means I get to spend more time hanging out on the couch with them. Water. This is my favorite place to spend my free time. Obviously, I've ended up living in the desert somehow, so this is mostly on vacation for me. But if I ever disappear and not to come back, it'll be because I found a way to live on a beach or on a lake somewhere. And then finally, this crazy town. Moved here in 2000, and I've been living here for 18 years now. Both of my kids are born and raised here. Did all of my graduate work here at UNLV, and now I get to teach here. It is a really unique spot, as I'm sure you know, and it's definitely been good to me and to my family. And then finally, teaching. This is an award that I received last year for my teaching, and this one's really important to me because it was actually voted on by students right here at UNLV, and I do really enjoy teaching. I love what I do. I think I've got the best job in the world, and I'm always working on trying to improve my teaching, whether it's in person or online, and I'm looking forward to getting to work with you this semester. All right, so in terms of what else we'll be doing here in our first lecture, we'll be talking a little bit about the syllabus, what you'll need in terms of technology in order to succeed here in the class, and then the online textbook platform we'll be using, McGraw-Hill's Learn Smart, and then just to what to expect over the course of our next couple of weeks here together. In terms of the syllabus, I would highly recommend that you read through that carefully here in your first day of our summer class. I will hold you responsible for knowing the content of the syllabus. Definitely please reach out with any questions through any of the contact methods I just discussed. A couple of policies you might want to take a look at are extra credit. I don't really offer a lot of extra credit in the course of a regular semester, much less over summer when we have so much less time to work with. You may see an occasional extra credit question on a test here and there, but there are no extra credit assignments available. The best way to make sure that you get a good grade in the class is to get your work done and submit it on time. I don't accept late work. If you don't get your work in by the deadline, you will receive 0 points for the assignment. That being said, I do have a late pass policy that allows you to submit a limited number of assignments up to 4 days late over the course of the semester. Please make sure you read the section on that in the syllabus in case you need to use that late pass sometime in our next couple of weeks. And then finally, academic integrity. I do ask that all of your writing assignments are submitted through Turnitin just to make sure that the work is yours. And there are some my maximum turned in percentage as listed in the syllabus is 20%. So if any of your writing assignments come in higher than that, you'll need to rework them in order to receive credit for the assignment. Again, please check those sections in the syllabus along with the rest of the content. Those just may be a little bit different than other instructors that you've worked with. Okay, in terms of the points that are available here in class, one of the first things I'm going to ask you to do is to post an introduction to yourself, to your discussion group mates. That'll be worth 3 points. Then those Learn Smart assignments through the McGraw-Hill platform, those are worth 77 points over the course of the semester, the summer semester here. And then we'll be doing 8 discussion questions, which I'll talk a bit more about in a few minutes. Those are worth 10 points each for a total of 80 points. You'll have 3 additional written assignments. Those are worth 20 points each for a total of 60. And then finally 2 25-point exams, one about midway through the semester and one at the end of the class, and that's for a total of 50 points. The grand total there would be 270 points. If there are any graduate students enrolled in the class, I would ask that you reach out as soon as possible because I'm not seeing anyone enrolled on my UNLV, and there are slightly different requirements for graduate students here in PBH 435. So that's where our points will come from. In terms of the technology that you need to be successful in the class, obviously you're going to have to have access to Web Campus. I can't imagine how you get to this lecture without it, so it does seem like you've got that one settled. You will need access to audio in order to play the recorded lectures. These are video lectures that display the slides on the screen, much like what we're doing right now, with my voice doing the explanation in the background. But you'll need audio to be able to hear that. And you'll also have to be able to get to the McGraw-Hill Connect platform, and then also access to your Rebel Mail for announcements and due date reminders. I will send those out regularly over the course of the next couple of weeks so you know what to expect. The Learn Smart platform through McGraw-Hill provides the interactive textbook that we'll be using for this class. I've gotten a couple of questions about whether or not you could purchase a used textbook. Unfortunately, the answer for this class is that you can't unless it includes an online access code that has not already been used. It is a relatively expensive access code for the course of the semester, but I do consistently get really good feedback from students about how this works. It's not just a PDF textbook that you flip through. It's a true interactive learning platform that will help walk you through the content that we have to cover here this semester. You must have an online access code in order to be able to get there. Honestly, the easiest way to do this is if you purchase that through Web Campus. So for your the first time you try to access the content, it'll ask you for your access code or give you the opportunity to buy one. And that is the easiest way to get your Web Campus account and your McGraw-Hill accounts linked. There'll be 1 or 2 modules 3 times a week. So there'll be deadlines over the course of the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And each time you'll have 1 or 2 modules in the McGraw-Hill Connect platform that need to be completed. Basically how you complete them is by clicking on the practice questions, which is usually in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. And each time you complete those questions for the chapter, you'll receive 5 points for doing that work. Detailed instructions on how to connect to the McGraw-Hill platform are available on Web Campus. In the Start Here folder, you'll see an item called Getting Started with Learn Smart, and that will walk you through how to connect to that platform. If you have any technical issues along the way, please feel free to call McGraw-Hill's tech support team at 1-800-331-5094, and they'll help you get everything settled so that you can start to do your work here in class. Because we use so much technology here in our online class, I do want to take a minute to talk about technology issues. Something will happen, right? Your laptop will die right before a deadline, or you'll be unable to access Web Campus for some reason. When this happens, please reach out to me as soon as possible. I'll say communicate early and often about what your problem is. And typically, if you let me know before the deadline for the work that you're missing because of that technology problem, there's likely to be a more positive outcome for you in terms of being able to make up the work. Please make sure you take responsibility to reach out to the appropriate tech support staff. If it's Web Campus, the phone number there is 702-895-0777. And then the McGraw-Hill support team, their phone number on the previous slide. We really don't have any time to waste here in our accelerated summer class, so if you're having any technology issues, it'll be important to get those settled just as soon as you possibly can. Okay, so our typical workflow, if you take a look at the syllabus, you'll note that we have due dates on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of each week. So over the course of the week, there'll be multiple days when you'll need to submit items. Anytime that I have a due date listed on the syllabus, it's always at midnight on the date that's listed. So this week you'll have deadlines by midnight on Wednesday and Friday, and then a rare one on Tuesday, but always at midnight on the day that it's specified. So for each of those chapters, you'll start by completing the assigned reading. So you'll read the chapter through the online platform. And then you'll go ahead and complete those practice questions. There'll be 1 to 2, depending on which section we're working on, and those are due by midnight on the due date. You'll also want to listen to the video lecture and complete the accompanying study guide. If you find your way around the class on Web Campus, you'll see that there's a folder for the videos, video lectures and study guides, and then a folder for the McGraw-Hill content, the Learn Smart content as well. So take a look around here on our first day, and please let me know if you have any questions. Once you've completed the assigned chapters, the reading, the Learn Smart modules, and the video lecture and study guide, you'll also be responsible for some discussion questions. So discussion questions, we'll have 8 of those over the course of the semester, and the discussion questions are worth 10 points per question. So that you don't have to keep up with the whole class and do all of that reading for everyone who's enrolled, I do divide the class up into discussion groups of about 8 people. And in terms of getting your first discussion post up there and getting all the points that you can, please see the discussion post guidelines in the Start Here folder. That will help you to get a handle on what exactly I'm looking for when you post a discussion, your first response to a discussion item here in class. Please note that there are separate deadlines for when your main post is due and when your replies are due. Regardless of the day, remember that all deadlines are by midnight, so the day that the main post is due, you'll want your main post up by midnight, and the date that the replies are due to at least 2 members of your group, you'll want those up by midnight on that date. I would consider here at the beginning of class adding these dates to your planner or however it is that you keep your calendar because this is a good source of there are 80 points that are available here for the whole semester. You want to make sure that you're getting these assignments done on time. In terms of how those 10 points break down, 6 of them are for a good, thorough, well-sourced main post that answers all the parts of the question. And then you'll need to post 2 meaningful replies to your group members, and that's the other 4 points that are available for the semester. Again, please check the syllabus for these due dates, and be sure to proofread your posts before you post them. Points are deducted for grammar and syntax issues in these posts. Because it's a form of written communication, it's important that you're putting your best foot forward while you're making your points here. Okay, so in terms of the assignments that are due this particular week, we will have a rare Tuesday deadline. I am asking that you get your McGraw-Hill Connect account set up by midnight on June 5th, which is Tuesday of this first week of class. So you'll want to make sure that you connect through Web Campus and complete this first assignment called Connect to Connect. I'm also going to ask that you make sure that you know where your Web Campus emails are going. I do make an effort to make regular announcements through the Web Campus announcement system so that you know where you stand and what items are due on which days, but it's not going to do you any good unless you know where to pick those emails up. So please make sure that you know where your Web Campus emails are going and how to collect those so that you can get the benefit of those updates. So again, have that Connect to Connect assignment done by midnight on June 5th. Tuesday of this week, and then your introduction post back to our usual Wednesday deadline here. I'm asking that will be completed by June 6th. You'll also want to be checking the syllabus because we do start our content right away. We've got chapters 1 and 2 to be read, Learn Smart modules completed, as well as the video lectures and study guides. By midnight on the 6th. Oh, just one more quick comment about those study guides. The study guides are not to be handed in. Those are for your benefit. And important to know about them is that they are the best way to prepare for the exams. So you'll be completing those notes on your own. You don't need to submit those or get me to approve them. But I would highly recommend that you complete them in order to be successful on the exams. All right, that'll wrap us up for our first lecture here in PBH435, Health Studies of Dangerous Drugs. I'm looking forward to getting to work with you this semester, and I hope that you'll reach out with any questions or comments that you may have along the way. Thank you.